So the best thing for tournaments is to kind of, one, outside pullers do better at tournaments because it's less wars. If you hook, then you have to get in long grinding matches, and the odds of having a long match or difficult match is a lot higher. So outside pulling is a little more efficient for tournaments. That's why guys like Travis Bajent and things like that always did really well at tournaments, because they can just stay outside all day. They're not taking a lot of damage. And even if you get pinned in a top roll, the damage that happens to you is much less than if you're hooking and you get pulled through and all your elbow and everything gets ripped through, and your chest, everything gets pulled open. It's way less damaging. So I think that you have to have generally a more well-rounded approach would be better, but especially an outside move going into a tournament. And homework is harder to do. It's harder to study up because you don't know everybody that's going. A lot of people like to lie and say they're not going and then actually go, or they'll even do the opposite and say they're going and then not go. So it's kind of the day of, in terms of preparation mentally and like kind of knowing what you're getting yourself into. But that's why I ended up getting into supermatch arm wrestling and really liking that, because I do like having one opponent who I know has agreed, and then being able to spend. I'm a nerd and I'm super obsessive type of person. So when I have one person I can like really zero in on and watch a million videos and watch how they win and how they lose and where they, where they do well and where they do bad or what they don't like and things like that, then I can better, and you usually have more time to prep for a super match. You have 4 months or whatever it is. So you have time to develop this pressure, really work on that move. And hopefully you're semi well-rounded so you can, you kind of already had a hook, but it's time to get that hook amazing. Or you kind of already had a high posting top roll, but let's make that better, so you have time to kind of fine tune things. That's why I prefer super matches over tournaments, but tournaments can be a lot of fun. It is fun to just test.
It's fun when you win a tournament.
Yeah. It's fun when you win. I mean, that's true with everything, I guess. Yeah. But when your move works out or you beat that guy, especially after you had a hard day, you've already had 3 hard rounds and then you beat this guy. It's like this sense of, accomplishment that I think is super powerful and amazing. But it's definitely rougher, and it's hard to tell who's the better guy at tournaments. It's definitely, in terms of ranking or seeding or anything like that, I think it's horrible. Compared to supermatch arm wrestling.
I only think it's good for the number one, because it's very hard to win a tournament if you're not the best guy. You have to get really lucky then.
Yeah, but I prefer. Brackets can mess up everything. You could have the ranked number one guy go in there. He has 3 hard wars in a match, stylistic bad matchups. And all of a sudden, the ranked number 4 guy had an easy bracket, and he's a top roller. Then they meet in the finals, and the ranked number 4 guy just smokes the ranked number 1 guy because he was so tired. So it's like, tournaments can be heavily skewed in terms of who would actually win in a fresh versus fresh match. Can be heavily skewed for sure.
I also like the super matches more. I like the tactics of it, and I like the physicality of it. I feel like tournament is quite speed based, but super match is more the whole package, right?
Right.
And I like to think of the different styles, top roll, hook, press, and whatever, or your different muscles as like Pokemon. Have you played Pokemon?
Yeah.
So you have, if you have 6 strong Pokemon, it doesn't matter if one is dead, right? You can just switch over to your hook or your press.
Right.
But in a tournament, when you lose, you're done, right?
Yeah, you get 2 chances. That's it. I mean, unless you pull multiple classes and stuff. But I mean, it's fun. It's just it's definitely a gamble. It's definitely a gamble. It's not we're gonna go test to see who the better person is. The draw, the random brackets has so much to do with it. But I mean, it's still a fun way to go arm wrestle and see how it turns out, I guess.
Yeah, we have a club championship coming up in a week, and that is a weight-based bracket. So if you were in it, you would face the second heaviest guy in the first.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, they do. So they do like everybody separate by weight, and these top 2 guys go against each other, and the bottom lightest guys go against each other, and it works. Yeah, I got you.
Exactly. It's usually a fun time.
Done some of those.
Yeah. So tell me about what is some relevant factors for you when it comes to what is a great day or a great week leading up to a super match?
Well, everybody has their own training concepts and the way they prepare for a super match.
Yeah.
I'm a gym guy, so I generally do one practice on Sundays every week, and then if everything's going well, it's 5 days in the gym. And so I guess a good week would be moving forward. I do progressive overload where it's just a little bit heavier each week, every lift. I track my lifts and things like that. And so a good week would be obviously hitting that little personal jump and PR in all my lifts. But also there's a heavy mindset and mental approach to each match, and so feeling more confident. That's a big thing for me. That's why for me I have to train this way. The way that I train, not only do I believe in it like physically and it working, but also because I train isolated, meaning like I train very isolated on say my bicep. Then because it's an isolated lift, then I know that my bicep it's measurable. It's very isolated lift purely on the bicep, and I can move. I'm 20% stronger than I was 3 months ago. It's mathematically, I know because it's isolated, it's 20% stronger. Okay. So I do that with each muscle, right? The bicep, the pec major, the pec minor, yada, yada, yada. Test them all individually, know and track that they're stronger. So that way I don't hope, I know I'm stronger, like per numbers, per the numbers used and all the muscles used for arm wrestling. Yeah. So then, because I've done the other training styles where just table time or mainly table time. Okay. But I'm beating my teammates easier, but was he tired? Am I just learning how he arm wrestles and how to beat him? You're pulling the pulleys and things like that. Okay, did I just cheat that lift more than I cheated it before? Am I actually stronger? It's kind of mimicking arm wrestling, but not really, because an actual other hand would be doing this or doing this with their thumb or making their arm more vertical or things like that. So that doesn't carry over directly to how I'm going to feel in the match. So I needed something that's I know for a fact I'm going in here better than I was. And so me training this way helps my crazy mind prepare. So a good week would not only be hitting better numbers, but also be building my confidence. And by the day the match happens, I'm in a different headspace, feeling
So
great.
confidence is the central factor that you're after.
Yeah, I think everything ends up culminating. All my efforts end up culminating in being a confident guy that day. I mean, obviously, physically, I want to be stronger that day, of course, and more and everything ready. But yeah, I definitely need to feel good mentally to be able to execute.
Because it's a very interesting concept to me, this confidence versus fear factor. Because obviously, sometimes you're going to go up against an opponent that is a very scary guy, right? And both Travis and Devon have talked about how they almost feed off fear. Travis, he employs his, panic structure where he's up on his toes and he panics and he gets faster off it. And I remember Devon talking about his fear of Levon feeding him, drive to become better. But I am like you. I can't do fear. I need absolute delusion that I'm gonna win, or it's just no good, right?